NYYRIKKI versus Riddle. It's the last game of week 6, day 1. It's going to be a spicy one. Welcome back, everyone. How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah.
We've had some League of Legends today.
Yes, we did.
That last game was frantic.
Esports.
Probably the word to play
Yes.
to put it. And honestly, I could see the same kind of happening again in this game, because this one is also going to be quite high stakes for both the teams. This is another game where you can see the standings start to divide a little. We've seen that at the top. The question is, can we see that in the middle of the pack too?
So my question here is, Riddle are playing red side.
Okay.
And so far, 5 out of our 6 games,
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 games, yes, have been red side wins. I'm the only one who's gone for Riddle, who is red side. So
Predictions, like triple
Logic checks out.
It is like she never fails.
Apart from those
Those
two positions.
predictions,
I do.
no.
I do.
When you look into, okay, they're going to pick Rumble. When you see
I
something,
went for JDXL, I do.
oh yeah, she's broken. Yeah, it's a bad day for predictions. From
Bring the
Rumble.
Rumble out. Do it. Let's get the W.
But on the NYYRIKKI side, they've been showing up.
Yes.
Last week was something to behold from that team.
And particularly that very last game, when they finally got the Tryndamere, they looked like they were so practiced at playing around it. Now, we knew that they had a couple of compositions where they felt confident when they got to the mid and late game, particularly when Azathoth was unlocked in on these Jinx and the Aphelios, when you can actually team fight. The rest of the team has started to follow suit. It's not perfect yet. The win which they did have was against Astralis Talent, who, as I saw in that last game, have had some struggles themselves. Only just managed to pick up their first win since week 1, just in that last game. But NYYRIKKI, you can't necessarily underrate them now. They're not just another bottom team. They're in the middle of the pack and they're competing.
Can I raise you my Uno reverse card? Because even though Patoshka was fantastic on that Tryndamere, there even always gets permabanned against him. His Cho'Gath is very questionable. He's had some good performance with Gangplank, some not so good performance with Gangplank. To me, it's very 50-50. And now that also X7 have showed how to deal with the Tryndamere, you shut down the jungler, you shut down the top lane play very effectively. Maybe you leave the pick open and then you just capitalize and punish on it, because to be fair, it gives you a very easy, straightforward way of playing the game. It gives you a very clear win condition, which is shut this guy down, allow us to scale into the late game. And from the side of Riddle, I find them, so they're in the middle of the pack team, but like I find them so consistently inconsistent. It's like one side of the map will pop off whilst the other side of the map is struggling, but then it's the vice versa as well. So Kex will be struggling, the bottom of the map will carry, and then the other side happens. And I'm like,
That was the face of a man who is contemplating life. What were you contemplating, Archeron?
I learned a lot from Trouble, by the way.
I've learned a lot from everyone here. And
Yeah.
what I've learned about Riddle is pretty much what Trouble was saying, actually, in terms of the inconsistency. The way that I would phrase it is that there's always someone who's going to be inconsistent on the team. It's going to be a bit of a dice roll who's not going to show up on the day. The great thing is that means that
everyone's included.
Think it's like every one of these players has had pop-off moments. Yeah. If only they could all do it at the same time, I reckon they could be a top-of-the-table team.
Yes.
I genuinely, if this comes to playoffs and Riddle sorts out whatever's going on with their individual performances, and Fadachan gets to pop off on something like the Jhin, and you get everyone, like slow queues, great packages as opposed to ones which are a bit more questionable, I really think this team could be so exciting to watch. We're not there yet. We're still tracking that. Do I expect it to happen today? Not necessarily. Might be a way off. But it's still, again, just something to put in your mind.
I'm going to grab it from where you said, like, on a good day, right? When they play really well. And my mind goes straight back to Dusty, where Viking said that if we play really well on the day, we're like a really good team, we're at least top 3. Now, the thing is, if Riddle is on a good day, somebody's popping off. I don't necessarily see the same level of team play. I don't necessarily see the same level of coordination. I just see somebody who's like 1v9ing or is extremely far ahead in the game and bails Riddle out of very sticky situations that they put themselves in.
And actually, the situations which come to mind the most were when Fadachan is stuck under a tower, has vision of people coming towards his lane, decides to sit under tower, dies for it. That's the kind of thing where, like, you can understand there is some communication happening across the team. He's made an active decision to stay under the turret. That's obviously turned out to be the bad decision. The question is, what's led up to that point? Is that something that's easy to fix? Is it someone's role in communicating on the team? Is it something about a mindset about how to play out the game? These aren't necessarily easy things to address because they can be quite multifaceted. But again, on that side, I mean, NYYRIKKI's managed to do similar things. What's to say that Riddle can't themselves?
One of the questions that I have, not regarding the game itself, but it could affect the game. We've been seeing a lot of Enchanter style playing with the Smite and
You love
Church
that
Knight.
topic, don't you?
Oh, I hate it. I hate it with all my strength, believe me.
So, I just don't think it's so relevant right now in general in the league because
We have good top laners. It's not like NA.
I'm not saying that like bad top laners play enchanters. It's just that if you're gonna just place my top lane, whoever's in the top side of the map is just gonna.
No, what he means is that he's actually got an alignment chart for top laners, and he's saying like it's actually bad top laners, evil top laners play Smite. I think that's what he's trying to say. Yeah.
You play Queen top,
Okay, I'm
you
gonna-
are evil.
That's
Okay,
me. I play
that's
that.
not an
Emotional
enchanter, though.
damage.
Okay, that's not an enchanter though. I think you hate top laners in general. I
No,
feel.
range top laners and Enchanter top laners shouldn't be allowed. You should be
Fine.
banned.
So tanks and bruises allowed.
Yes.
And some
Manly
assassins.
fights.
And
I'm
some
never playing
assassins.
top lane
Manly
again.
fights.
Just to go back to the topic with the Smite, I feel like it's a very niche scenario where you can actually pick the Smite top laner, where if you roam away from the top lane, not much is going to happen. If you have an Ornn, if you have a Gragas,
Kali's another good one
an
for this,
opposition.
actually.
If you've got something that's not necessarily going to snowball out of control by an empty lane and free farming technically the entire time. And the thing is, you also need to have a very self-sufficient jungler if you're the opposition of the Janna Smite. So even if you lose a bunch of that farm, even if you do get...
Occasionally collect a wave or something.
Exactly. You just get to be useful. So I'm looking at things as Zinza. I'm looking at things like Hecarim. I'm like, these two champions are always pretty relevant. Doesn't matter if they fall too far behind. Like, it will always be okay. You've got another tank in the top lane, which means you've got a pretty easy way into team fights as well. So I think Janna is a very niche pick that can very easily be punished.
Things that you can get other champions doing this. I don't want to necessarily stick on this too much because it's the kind of thing where you need to hyper practice it to get the most out of it. It's kind of like when lane swaps were in meta from season 4 through to 6 odd, right? Took us about 2 years to really figure out all the ins and outs of that. This could take a very long time for teams to practice this. I doubt we're going to see this from a lot of our NLC teams unless they're really investing a lot of time into it. And when we've got teams like Riddle and NYYRIKKI who are already struggling on some of their other fundamentals, I don't think that's a very efficient use of their time. I'm hoping that they can clean up against some of those communication structures which have led to them having maybe some iffy early games, some iffy decisions about where they are on the map and who's getting punished in certain situations.
I feel blessed by not having that on these games as well. And also, you have good carries on the top side. I mean, you got to use them. Obviously, Riven is going to be removed because Petoska is alive. Thresh is going to be removed as well. Akali also. And what can we expect more? I love Goldberg. I got to say, I love Goldberg, but having you on the champion select, you can predict things. So what are you feeling? Like, what is the spice? Give me the salt. Give me the pepper.
Cried out in anger over
Okay, the
that.
thing that I haven't
don't care,
seen
we don't care.
yet is a Nidalee ban towards MC. I'm assuming this is going to be the last ban from the side of NYYRIKKI. There's no way MC Nidalee goes through, because if it does go through, I'm pretty sure it's going to get
first pick. I mean,
insta-locked. Yeah.
I don't understand why you don't first ban it every time, because at that point you can kind of hide the rest of your bans. This is kind of the problem on red side though, where so the way that obviously Goldblog's been phrasing it, and I very much agree, is overloaded drafts, where you have to ban so many nameplate champions. Who are like, this player cannot be allowed to play this. That a lot of the regular meta stuff gets through.
Do it.
NYYRIKKI can read! NYYRIKKI can read!
Give it to me! Come on! No, don't. What is happening?
Wait. That's huge. That's huge. The Sidere does not play Nidalee.
Well, maybe he does.
And the thing is, Petoska's gonna have to lock something in like a Camille, which is not the case. So they're gonna go with the Gwen, they're gonna go with the Ryze, and this is most likely going to be MC locking his own Nidalee.
It took
6 weeks!
Where's my Riddle prediction? Bring the Riddle prediction.
Okay, we have the Exodia topside. Kex on his best performing champion. I'm so glad we get this to end out the day.
Okay, let's calm down. So, Kex on Renekton, last time he got resources, he absolutely 1v9'd on that champion. Now you have a very strong top side of the map that you can play through, and then you also have the Aphelios, who is your insurance towards the late game to have the damage. So the problem here is that you're gonna ban the Nautilus, you're gonna ban the Thresh. Sorry, the Thresh has already been banned, so there's not gonna be a bunch of stuff that you can play around the Aphelios, but then you have the Rel, then you have the Leona, then you have these types of champions. You can either go for something like Braum, if you wish to here, but on the side of NYYRIKKI, I'm seeing Gwen. I'm seeing Rise, I'm seeing Jinx, I'm seeing a lot of scaling, I'm seeing a lot of side lane pressure as well with the Rise.
We cannot stress how important this Nidalee pick getting through is, though, because we have heard, you hear whispers, and you hear whispers of Riddle winning against...
Wait, but if it's never open, when does he get to practice it?
In scrims, where he's been beating every other team in Europe, which is the whispers that we hear.
Nidalee versus him.
There's whispers?
There are whispers that this team is like unleashed when they have that Nidalee. Of course, there's only so much. You're absolutely right, actually. You have to bring that up. He hasn't played it on stage yet. That's a very different environment. Now, is it in a studio stage? No, maybe that changes some things as well. However, it's an official match. It does change the atmosphere a lot. You have the Gravitum to set things up. You have the empowered Renekton. You have the empowered Renekton W to lock in as well. You have setup on both sides of the map. You don't even care about getting a mid laner that can also set up in the same way. You can do if you want. This seems like an absolute field day for MC. Rise, also very short range, gonna be in position to get hit by something like a Moonlight Vigil with that Gravitum. Same with with someone like Leona if they dive in. They're at such high risk in these fights. Riddle looking like they're in such a good position.
Question. What happens when Renekton goes to lock in a Gwen and she's immune and Nidalee?
Okay, so...
Nidalee can't hit the spear. That's the one thing.
I really like the fact that they locked the Braum in here. We mentioned that the two remaining, because Leona was going to be taken away, was either the Braum or the Rel. I like the Braum much more right here because it's very protected when you have juicy targets like Nidalee and Aphelios in the backline. I love the fact that you're throwing spears in and then the LeBlanc will just come flying in like a helicopter. Just absolutely 100 to 0. So I'm not even 100 to 0, probably 20 to 0 because they're going to have taking a spear in the face. And
did they really just flex the Gwen to jungle? I mean, okay, Gangplank has always been somewhat of an answer to Renekton Nidalee combos, because we're thinking back a couple of seasons now, actually, if we've seen this combo a lot. But Gwen, I can understand the Gwen... You get to duel the Nidalee. That's the one thing. Nidalee actually doesn't get to duel the Gwen when your W's up. So if you run into each other in the jungle, Nidalee actually has to give a lot of space and back off. Gangplank can survive, but if you die once or twice, you don't get to touch a lane ever. Super high risk from NYYRIKKI. They have to be very confident the way they play out the early game.
Okay. Looking at the draft, I think MC is under a lot of pressure. He has to make the Nidalee work. It is his pocket.
He has a lot of setup.
It's the first time that
chains,
the pick has actually... it's the first time that actually the pick is available to him. So I think a lot of the pressure is going to go to him to perform. That is his pick. It's up and available. The first pick, the Renekton for that Nidalee. So everything needs to fall into space. If I look on the other side of the rift, though, scaling, upon scaling, upon scaling,
the early game.
upon scaling. If somehow you manage to get into that late game, I think it's going to be quite impossible for Riddle to win that late game. But MC never misses spear, so.
6 weeks until we got this
Nidalee.
We only needed 1 day with Hiprain to get Nidalee on MC. It is the final day the final game of the day. Riddle versus NYYRIKKI. Hiprain, tell me about this.
We got it! Nidalee for MC. I thought you were going to join me.
No, man, I only told you that. I'm not going to do that.
Threw me under the bus. Lovely, I'm glad.
Also, why is it only about you? Why is it just Hiprain?
Because we've had 6 weeks of you. We're bored of you, frankly, mate. I'm joining us here. Anyway, do you want to talk about League of Legends?
I want to talk about my feelings now, first of all.
You want a hug?
No, I feel sad, but I don't want a hug from you.
I'm going to give him a hug, don't worry.
No, do not touch me.
All right, Riddle versus NYYRIKKI. Both of these teams are tied right now in the standings. Take it away.
Thank you.
Do your analyst.
I will. So, from a narrative point of view, with Riddle, I would definitely say that they have been on a downward trajectory. They've been a team that has struggled to find clear-cut wins in a consistent fashion. And when they're finally getting their wins, it's quite often of one guy coming with a 1v9 performance. Most recently, I think Kex has been the one showing up for them, and specifically on the Renekton. Now, we flip that coin. We talk a little bit about NYYRIKKI. I think Acertor down towards the bot side instead has been the main catalyst for the success we quite often see in NYYRIKKI. And I feel like he's actually one of the greatest AD carry we've seen in that we have in the league, paired up with Apignale as well. This duo, when they are kind of running around, they just find success for their team. So I think it is two different catalysts you want to see at these two team composition, whereas for Riddle, it's very much about their solo lanes. They can have potential to play for the affiliates later, but in laning phase, I'm not expecting him to get many resources. And then I think for NYYRIKKI, it's going to be more towards that bot side, making sure that GP can survive just a little bit every now and then.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on the jungle rotations to see where they're starting, well, how they're going to be playing this. Early, GP's actually, you know, this level 1, pretty nice for him versus Kex. Just eating those grasping-powered Qs. And it does get a little bit rougher because it's Renekton, and Renekton's very, very fun. That's going to be my way of saying that. But yeah, we can see the Desadre making their way up the lane, up the jungle. So we'll be pathing towards the top side of the map. That means that it can then move down after the first reset and then move towards the bottom side.
He's actually just going to be skipping wolves. I think one of the reasons we're going for this is that you don't have to commit to play down towards the bot side because, quite frankly, the setup into a Braum is not necessarily the most secure one. There's also the cleanse available for Fatty-chan, and because of that, you can play more like a bandage duty right now, where you're making sure that the Gangplank gets to collapse his wave on the third wave. He gets to have a slow push stack towards him, or can just go for an early recall to gain him a little bit of an advantage in a lane where he will be receiving a lot of jungle attention. So I don't know if we can actually see the top side right now, how the Gangplank is pathing this, and there we have it. Petoska doing exactly what he's supposed to do. You push in this third wave, you crash it, and you back off to gain intel on the Nidalee.
Well, the Nidalee is currently at the chicken camp, taking that away from the side of NYYRIKKI. Is going to go hunting for the Gwen, but not going to be able to find Desadre. Desadre will move over the trap now and reveal themselves, so they now know where that is. And Petroska just going to reset.
Yeah, so down towards the bot side, I think right now Fatty-chan and Nukes currently are the one with the priority in their favor. So as soon as he saw the Seadra was moving down towards the bot side, he wanted to deny the Scuttle Crab despite his own top cam still being up. So he's sacrificing his own little clear speed in favor of trying to get a double Scuttle here. You can see the quick adaptation for the Seadra as well, because he's moving up towards the top side Scuttle now instead.
But interesting as well, Slowku has a good shove in the mid lane, so he can rotate over first to help versus this Crab if they want to contest it. MC's going to spot it out and find Desadre nice and early, jumping in. No red buff for the slow, but Ghost has been popped and Desadre on the run. Slowku may look for the distortion over the wall. If he finds this chains, this could be a dead Gwen. Goes in for the flash, throws down every little bit of damage he needs. The spear from MC goes wide, and Desadre is burning down low, but will be able to survive. MC, it turns out he does miss.
Oh my word, I cannot believe the Seadra actually lives that one. It's still in a favorable position for Riddle, but the fact you make it out alive on that situation, a great escape from the NYYRIKKI jungler, but you're still going to be losing out on the double Scuttle. Granted, it's not as good as it used to be in the past, but you can already see the laning phase here. Kex, he's trying to shove it in. He's very low, and Petoska, one good barrel, can really turn this one around.
Oh, he lands the barrel. He's got the trial by fire, and Kex is just going to have to give it up. He's going to pull this. Oh, the wave. So sad. He was trying to freeze it.
Yeah, misses out on that one. See if he can stop some backs, or at least bait some backs to be stopped here, but he cannot. Petoska does have to teleport, like Kex does as well. Kex opts in for his one. Petoska is going to recall, and he's most likely going to TP back as well. No, he actually opts to stay around because he saw the Nidalee back, so he knows he gets some extra time in lane here. But at some point, you need to back. You need to expend that TP. You're in an item deficit, only with a boot so far, but you have the mana disadvantage and the HP disadvantage at the moment.
Has got the biscuit though, so a little bit of mana can be recuperated there.
Ooh, nice word.
In the top lane. Sometimes I can speak English.
Ah, and it's very delightful when you can. That's
a good word as well.
Yeah, thank you. Brilliant, some would say.
I missed you.
I missed you too, buddy. Do not worry about that. It's great to have you back. Taking stock at the lane right now with the bot lane priority they needed for themselves down with NYYRIKKI. They've now put Avagnal in a position where he can roam around, but currently they don't have the greatest vision control, and with your mid laner just on a reset on Aero, there's not too much to do. I like the fact that you're looking for roams, but fact is, you probably wouldn't have been able to achieve much just due to the fact that Petoska still currently have not TP'd back either. And wait a minute. Has MC still not cleared his topside jungle? Is that level 1 blue buff?
That is level 1 blue buff.
So that does put you a little bit behind in the jungle tempo. You've been able to get enemy jungle. He started bot side.
Okay, yes, that is level 1 blue buff then.
I might be level 1 Grump as well. So actually a little bit behind in terms of jungle clearing right now. You can see the Seadra is level 5. There, MC finally hits that himself. But when the Deciduous Bluebuff starts spawning, that's where you can gain yourself that little bit of an extra advantage, that little bit of extra tempo. It might not matter in the second full clear. It might not matter a little bit on the third full clear, but on the fourth full clear, that's where it starts happening. Off towards the top side.
Looking for the dive. Renekton and Nidalee make such a strong combination, but the Cannon Barrage is going to stop them down, and the Q will secure first blood.
And that was just straight up a solo kill as well. Petoska playing that one real nicely. Its spear does connect, but MC not in a position to capitalize on it. And with the Deciduous being there to back up, there's just not much you can do about that situation. They opted in for a dive, and it failed horribly for Riddle.
Oh, nice chains actually there from Slowq. Spear is going to get blocked by the minion though. So not too much damage going on to Rise here in the mid lane. But lovely little play in the top side. We'll see this once again. Just played that very patiently.
Yeah, and it's even if it's just a 1 versus 2 and the Deciduous is not actually here to back you up, Kex gets so low trying to shove in that turret, and the Gangplank Orange just to get out of spear range after the stun comes through, super nice as well. MC trying to counter juggle here. Bot lane priorities in favor of Riddle.
Yeah, everyone's rotated over though. Abagnale making their way forward. Realm Warp's just going to get them out to safety. Deciduous nice and safe.
Vatican still looking for Abagnale here. They're trying to get some more vision control. That's the press the attack combo with the Calibrum and Chakrams to back you up. You cannot disrespect that turret. And in the green room, I can already hear NYYRIKKI scream about those those Aphelios guns. But with this priority, they will be able to net themselves up the Infernal Drake for themselves. They put that on the stacking table, but on the other end, we can see Abagnale already recalling. I think he's going to be looking for a potential Herald play in just a bit. Oh, no, he actually cancels it.
Well, 8 minutes in, gold lead very close between these teams. Obviously, there'll be a slight lead here in the top side, although is looking for a fight versus Kex. I believe those minions actually just blocked Petoska from actually getting even closer, because I think with the Trial by Fire, that was a 1 fight. Dominus not available quite yet to Kex, but it will be up fairly soon. And Petoska actually, you can see, playing a little bit of respect. Doesn't actually know where MC is.
Things coming in the mid lane here. Look at Slowq's position. He's trying to catch Aero off guard. Remember, Aero does have flash, but now MC's here for backup.
Spear goes wide once again, flashed out. Chains are on, and this is going to be the pop. This is going to be the follow-up. Nice and easy kill there for Riddle in the mid. A little bit of a fumble.
But good patience from Slowq. He called that play 10 seconds before it actually happened, got the backup from MC, and connects the chain despite an early flash from Aero. So nice job from the Riddle mid laner, putting his team back in a competitive gold deficit, or gold lead now rather, although it's only 200 gold.
Kex just going to heal up off the honey fruit, and Petoska's had this wave shoved for, well, so he had the lane in a nice place for him underneath the tower, but he was still down in farm, especially when he got that first blood as well. Interesting from him. And actually cancels the recalls as he sees the wave get shoved in. Placing a ward down for Deciduous, who's got the sweeper going for the moment. The ghost has been used, and there's the needlework. The barrel is going to be big, but it's going to get blocked, and it's going to get blocked as Kex is going down. One last needlework will do it. As that Crocodile got a haircut.
Yeah, that's the thing. He got a bit disrespectful there. Thought Petoska was back in, moved in the top lane, and then thought he could be looking for some platings here to try and cut back on some of the loss they gained on themselves by losing that topside play earlier. But it just ends up putting them further behind, and another kill goes over to NYYRIKKI.
Yeah, lovely little pickup for them there. Deciduous actually, you know, fairly on it with the rotations. And we were talking about this at the beginning, thinking they're going to play for bot lane, they're going to play for Azure.
Exactly.
But actually, no, they've been healing very heavily towards the top side of the map. And now we might see Slowq look for a solo kill, misses the chains, and that is going to cool that.
Yeah, I want to talk about that as well, but Abagnale, he's out on a mission to get some vision.
Oh, going to take a lot of damage from MC. Slowq is going to come in, looking for the flash, looking for the lockdown, looking for the turnaround maybe here, as Slowq gets locked down by the ultimate. And the Ignite goes down, but it's not going to be enough for a follow-up kill. Slowq's out of there.
Yeah, he is. And Abagnale, I gotta say, that's a bit too overconfident trying to clear out that bush. Just when MC was around, did not have the bot lane priority even, and no jungle attention either, so even a flash is not going to save you against the LeBlanc. And as you said yourself, yeah, I thought we were going to be talking a lot about the bot side as well, because for the longest time with NYYRIKKI, that has been the story. Every time we talk about Asseter on either the Aphelios or on this Jinx, or we talk about Abagnale on his ability to find the perfect engage, either by putting himself in a good fog-of-war position to flank the enemy, or just straight up finding the pickups. But so far, it's been very quiet for the bot lane. And I can think of 2 reasons for this. One, you're against a Aphelios Braum and you're like, okay, we're not actually going to be able to find a pickup on this. They're just going to disengage us. So therefore, we're going to be trying and match the scaling in the mid game by just trying to outperform them there instead of trying to outperform them in laning phase. And then the other one is that you're against Renekton in Italy. You're against slowQ's comfort. And if you can stop him on his most comfortable champion, that does something to the mentality as well in the early game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're 11 minutes in. 2-2 is the kills right now. Gold lead, not even worth mentioning, 200 gold. MC, though, being very proactive on the Nidalee. Got the Night Harvester finished up and is now looking to start up this Rift Herald for the team. So we'll be picking that one up. Petriska's been pushed underneath tower basically the entire game.
And the thing is, what can you cross-map with this? Because you're forfeiting this objective. Are you getting anything else around the map? Take a look at Abagnale right now. He's now trying to get that deep vision. Question mark pangs are already coming out, but now they've primed the bot lane. The vision control here to commit plays now is set. It's put in position. So now you set yourself up. How do you equalize on it? How do you execute on this play you have in mind and moving down towards the bot side?
Yeah, it looks like they're rotating a lot of people over towards this bot side, but question is what is there to gain? Yes, there's a dragon, so I'm assuming that's where the attention's going. Answering it myself. I was like, what are they doing? And then
Great question, greater answer. Good job. But now, hold it. MC, is he going to face check this one?
Ooh, he smells a rat, and he's correct to do so.
Smelled the rat, checked it with the trap, and just like that, he gets out of sight. Topside. I mean, surely this is not going to go out. Okay.
I don't know about that. He's reset the trial by fire as well. Looking for that last Q. That Grass Proc's going to do a fair amount of damage as Kex's ultimate's about to wear out. And Petriska still has the flash. He's looking for the turnaround. Got the orange, got the cleanse. Trying to find the...
Oh,
Kex! What an outplay! As meanwhile in the bot lane, Azatul's going oh so low. And they found the turnaround. Down goes the Rise. slowQ cashing in. And NYYRIKKI crumbling across the map.
Call an ambulance, but not for me, Jake. Tex turns it around and then down towards the bot side. Finds themselves in a favorable position despite NYYRIKKI being the team setting up so much vision around that bot side. I'm not too sure how that actually happened, but it looked brilliant now that they've put themselves in a 2k gold lead on the side of Riddle, and they're able to get an objective for themselves in the Drake as well.
Yeah, really, really swift little play there from Kex. As Desadre actually found slowQ, but we're going to go into the replay and see this bot lane fight because we missed most of it.
Yeah, okay, so remember there is so much intel around where they were, but it's just great piloting, or navigation rather, with the Realm Warp to put yourself in a good position. At least that's what you think in the beginning, but then Abagnale apparently dives too far forward, and it just becomes a super split fight when a 3-man Calibrum hits the fight. Arrow, no flash, caught off guard from his teammates, and yeah, he's just going to be biting the bullet.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, hasn't quite got the movement or the safety and is in the wrong position. So slowQ will pick up their first kill of the game. Looks like Riddle going to use this Rift Herald effectively. Not effectively enough.
What happened,
they didn't get the plates, but they do still get the tower, so...
What happened, Tom? Kex just got solo killed.
Wait, what? What happened?
That's what I'm saying. I saw Rift Herald.
Crazy.
Yeah, okay, so... Kex, despite just finding a nice 1v1, is still in an item deficit. You can see Petoska actually finished up his first mythic item. Obviously, with a Gangplank, it's quite easy to get a lot of gold just due to the nature of your skill set and the passive, of course. So it's only expected to be this far forward. But still, the fact he found that solo kill after just getting solo killed, I'm a little bit baffled.
Boggled. Confused. Let's see it.
Oh, there we have it. Do you want to play by play it?
No, but I can break it down. Resets trial by fire with barrels multiple times. There you go. That's two trial by fires. It's a lot of true damage. Grasp of the Undying. Item disadvantage.
Honestly, that was not even a minion wave. That was just Kex outside of his own turret looking for an exchange, and Petoska just put him to bed.
Sleepy crocodile.
Oh, yes.
I think he felt confident because of how shoved he was and was like, you got a long way to run. And then Petoska goes, no, you got to run. Back to lane because you're dying.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, he didn't actually get the chance to do so. And I wonder right now, let's try and have a look at the gold to see actually who... Oh, I'm going to hold on that actually because MC... Okay, he's out of there.
There's nothing more sad than that.
Yeah, to actually see who's... to actually see who's the strong sides of each team. And so far, it just seems like every member except the top lane is a head nod right now for Riddle. Azatul only being 100 gold down. The same goes for the mid lane, where that's probably the biggest lead. Arrow versus slowQ. But if we take a look at the map state right now, it is just Riddle moving the members around the map the fastest. They're having the tempo advantage, and they're taking care of these outer turrets. So 2 turrets to their name, with NYYRIKKI with 0 to theirs.
Yeah. It's pretty rough for them. Riddle have obviously got those 2 dragons as well in their pocket, so they're quite happy on that front. Can't actually see what the next dragon is. Is that the Hex Tech? Because I swear there's a bug around it.
Yeah, there is.
is.
Bro, you can just look at the minimap. You see
Oh
the
yeah,
gates, that's the Hex
everything's
gate.
got lightning.
Yeah, exactly. I love
I think Hex Tech has a bug as well, so you can't see the icon. Hence why I knew.
Nah,
Not
bro,
because
you're
I
just
looked at the
blind.
map.
It's right
Good
there.
vision.
It is right there.
Yeah, I know, but at the time it wasn't there.
It
alright?
was there.
God, you're...
It's like an old married couple here on Valentine's Day, isn't it?
I'm gonna give you a big kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah,
I hope our partners are watching this.
it's the last game of the night.
Things are getting heated.
It is, and things are not getting heated so far in this game. What Riddle is trying to do is take control of the top side, see if they can
Oh my word.
use that priority.
He just lost half his health to an
He did.
auto attack at a Q.
He did use that priority to take care of enemy camps as well, to try and kind of exponentially grow their lead, but it's not doing too much for them right now. NYYRIKKI is actually doing a good job holding on to the Raptors, and they will be losing out on the Crux exchange, but that is the most exciting stuff happening right now. But I will say, this map control is just purely in favor of Riddle. I think the main concern for a lot of our teams, though, in NLC, when they finally get a lead, they sincerely struggle to put a clean finish into it. We just casted Singularity Astralis, so it's going to be curious to see if it's going to come down to a flip of objectives, or if it's actually going to be, hey, let's push out the lane, let's take good control of the enemy jungle, let's look for picks if we want to with the LeBlanc, or let's just try and have one guy solo the Drake while the rest of them is pulling a little bit of a bait, or putting pressure, applying pressure rather, on the enemy.
I'm interested to see what Petroska's build is going to be. This could be that Infinity Age build.
I think it will
IE
be.
second, and then you just stack crit cloaks, and then you're like, all right, I've got enough crit.
So to the people who's not fully certain what Jake is talking about, Infinity Edge only has its full value when you get 60% crit as an item, which is why you quite often see Infinity Edge build as a third item, because it's really not gold efficient if you get it as a second item.
Yeah.
But you can cheat this if you just start building the crit cloaks to try and get the 60% crit beforehand. But with the Dirk being finished up, I don't think that's going to be the case.
Oh, it's Collector. Just wanted the good extra crit chance, I guess. It's an interesting build though, because obviously you're going to use those crit cloaks on GP if you're going crit build, so it's not the end of the world. Now Dragon spawning up very soon. It looks like both of these teams are congregating in the mid lane. There's not too much vision either side, although there is some nice wards behind the side of NYYRIKKI, as spears, ultimates, everything went a little wide there, so a fair amount actually burnt, or at least the Moonlight Vigil burnt from Vatican, as the Rift Herald will pull people in to the mid lane. And it looks like Riddle are just going to get their third dragon for free.
That's the thing. NYYRIKKI, they pushed it up as if they wanted to contest, realized, well, we can actually contest, and then just backed off, and that hindered them from going for a cross map too. So they're not picking up a topside turret, because yes, they can move the members up there now if they want to, but the thing is, the move is going to be read by Riddle, and they're going to be able to allocate resources on the map to give a response to this play.
Yeah. Slowcube might just find a Sadra here. They see them on the map. Slowcube, you're in a pretty rough position. Obviously,
I think he's fine.
Underneath his tower.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not in a position to dive. You don't have members that can come and help you.
Yeah, I guess.
Slowcube does, but NYYRIKKI really doesn't, and it's a slippery champion, like the LeBlanc as well.
I keep getting excited by seeing people close together, but here comes the Realm Warp. Joining in with the rest of the team, MC's buying some spaces. There's the Cannon Barrage. Baron gonna spawn up as the Rocky goes a little bit wide. Now the fight is on. They've still got a little bit of that needlework to work with. And Slowcube chasing forward, looking for Avenel, not able to hit them as they got a teleport coming on the back line. The Sadra's gonna get popped as Vatican able to find the kill. Crocodile on the back line. And NYYRIKKI trying to run away. A spear from MC could be huge, but they're not gonna be able to find it.
Just not finding anything really. Like, they tried going for a cross map, it failed, they were late on the tempo, and Kex, he's just going to be looking for the dive now.
Hero's too low. They might just turn it onto Avenel, able to take them down. Kex taking tower shot after tower shot. Cashed in by the Rise. But that is going to be it.
Kex got caught off guard by the Chompers. Great placement by Azator. I kind of want to say, unfortunately, Aero is the one picking it up. I think he's going to be going for the Thimble Winter Rise at least. So not seeing your Jinx get that kill is a little bit sad, but let's have a look at the replay once again, because I think Riddle is in their own right to be picking up this red buff for themselves. They have the mobility to play around with. And then the Seadra feels like he just goes a little bit too far forward here, where it seems like he finds a play, but I don't really see it. TP's coming in behind them. There's a lot of good peeling with nukes as well on the Braum.
Yeah.
And it's just a tough situation for Riddle. Or NYYRIKKI, rather.
Yeah, it was incredibly hard for them, but they were lucky to find something onto Kex. Maybe it was just Kex going a little bit too greedy, thinking he can find the kill. I mean, he did, but did cost him his life. And like you said, maybe not the ideal person to pick it up for Aero. But at the end of the day, Rice still going to be quite happy with picking up some of that gold. But Azator's been a very quiet game from their Jinx. And, you know, we talked about this. They were the player on NYYRIKKI who we wanted to watch here. You placed them as one of the best AD carries in the league. And a lot of the attention has been thrown towards the top side of the map. And this Jinx is behind right now. Spear gets blocked out by the Wolf, so MC not going to be able to find too much damage onto Azator. Just going to get back under the tower to safety.
It's just very difficult because right now there's not a lot of your team composition facilitating you as an AD carry.
Yeah.
Because when you take a look at Riddle's composition, the fact that you could get blown up by Slowq on the LeBlanc or the spears from Italy, it just means you have to right-click a lot and put yourself in a very good position all the time. Oh, Petoska.
Petoska gets the barrel. Oh my word, that's a lot of damage. Sterix is going to get burnt with the cannon barrage as well. Petoska not really got the damage to make this stick. If he can find a good barrel, potentially that collector could crit for the kill. But he's not feeling it. Doesn't quite have the orange up.
TP though, look at the TP. Aero just TP'd in behind Kex. It's just probably going to get them a kill here.
Yeah, they're going to be able to lock him in place. As long as they hold him down with that rune prison, it's going to be enough. Trying to jump in forward, trying to find the kill. Petoska able to get it with the collector.
Yeah, what can they get on the opposite side of the map though? Now that they know Aero TP'd in, is that going to give Riddle anything? And no, actually not. NYYRIKKI, they hold on against the pressure with Riddle pushing down the lanes.
Yeah. Woo.
That was close.
That was a bit of a squeaky bum moment, as I like to call them.
You are so cringe.
There he is. I love the game.
Hexgates are super fun. I think that's a great addition to the map as well. Not like the aforementioned Chemtech Drake we had beforehand. But now, 1 minute until this Hextech Soul from the side of Riddle. Getting this extra slow is super great when you're up against targets who want to be able to kite you down. Like, you slow down Azator on this Jinx, you slow down the Rise when he doesn't have the face rush, all of a sudden, they're just fish food. I mean, they'll get chewed up so easily.
Such a great way back onto the map. But yes, I completely agree with whatever you were saying. I wasn't just watching people ride the gates.
What did I say?
Well, Dragon's spawning up in 30 seconds, so we'll talk about that after this, because everybody is posturing on the map around the mid lane right now for that. I'm taking stock of the wave state right now, and wow, Slowq, that was a lot of damage. Solar Flare does connect, and looking to try and turn this one around. Petoska already very, very low, and Abagnale going to lose their life, but look at the needlework. MC jumping in, taking out Petoska. It's Azator's moment to shine. He has been so quiet all game, and he is excited. Aero going to have to use the stopwatch to try and dodge away on all of this damage, as Azator and Desadre doing so much work to keep Aero alive. He's going to use the ulti to get Desadre out of there and to safety. They can use the gates to get back into this dragon nice and soon. Desadre can heal up with the Gromp as well. Slowq jumps over the wall.
He's looking
for the kill. Slowed down. Azator actually going low. That's just an easy kill for Slowq. Why did he take that fight? And now Slowq can chase. Hasn't got the ultimate available yet, but Azator has to be so careful. Abagnale coming in. Oh, it's the double kill for Slowq. NYYRIKKI, they just picked it up and they threw it out. That is a complete fumble.
Complete fumble, as you mentioned. Slowq, he's just going to be forcing the last member away, but let's be real. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Not like this. NYYRIKKI, no.
Oh, he does not collapse in that one, but that's 20 seconds on Desidra, 15 on Aero, and 18 on Azator. Baron should just be the target for Riddle, who has now picked up the Hextech Soul for themselves and should be able to put a nail in the Baron coffin.
Why didn't they reset? They could have reset and take the Rift Gates back in. But no, they don't. Abagnale, it's not the ride you want to take. Baron is almost done. The cannon barrage is coming down. It's going to do a fair amount of damage, but Slowq's just going to jump over the wall, look for the chains. Can he Solar Flare steal? Absolutely not. And his life is forfeited as well. Slowq, 5-0-4 on the LeBlanc, having an absolutely monstrous performance.
Yeah, you know what? That's respectable. But what I really want to comment Riddle for this time around is it doesn't feel like a 1v9 performance from a specific member. It's actually 4 members of Riddle showing up. Kex has 5 deaths on the Renekton. He's literally the only one inting a little bit here, with the rest of his teammates having great KDAs. So playing that weak side in the strong side Renekton.
Sometimes you gotta be the feeder.
That's true.
What can I say? Anyway, let's take stock of the items because there's a Medge Heist on slow queue. Honestly, good enough game. It's pretty cost efficient. If they don't lose the stacks, it's going to be all right. You can see that our third item on the way for Fatikan as Petroska gonna get spotted out by slow queue, but these Baron waves, even with the GP, gonna be pretty hard to handle.
But with the Nidalee as well, this is where the sieging potential of MC starts to show up as well. Slow Q dashing forward just to throw one Q and proc the Hectech Soul will do a lot of damage too. So yes. Riddle, they've actually opted in to play 3 lanes. Usually in this day and age, we see people play on the 2 lanes instead. It's easier not to get caught. Riddle this time around have a lot of faith in their solo laners, and they're just splitting up the map. It's pulling NYYRIKKI apart.
Yeah, they are looking for it. There is a Q. Sorry, an E onto Arrow. As Fatikan actually, oh my word!
No, you did not.
He just got GP'd.
And that's a shutdown over to Astator.
Oh, nice dodge there from Arrow, actually dodging out on slow Q. Carry on.
Thank you very much. That's a shutdown over to Astator. In this time, like, it's going to take some time before NYYRIKKI is going to be put in a position where they can actually teamfight this. It took Astator so long just trying to put down Kex in his place, even as a 1-5 Renekton, because this Renekton is going to be building Gargoyle Stormblade as well. He's going to be a frontline Renekton that can actually deal with the damage. So you're looking for an Infinity Edge on the Jinx, but realistically speaking, you need a Lord Dominik's Regard as well before you can really be the carry for your team. And you're looking at least 5 to 10 minutes into the future of this game to get that item. And I'm just not sure NYYRIKKI can get to that point.
Oh no. Okay, he's fine. I think now almost getting in a little bit of trouble there, but Astator slowly getting there. 3-1 on the Jinx. 2 items, that Infinity Edge is on the way, and I think that's the big one. But for now, Petroska going to try and avoid Kex, but this could just be the end. Gets himself the lockdown to Sadre, makes sure that Petroska will not be going down today. Is there a timer on this game, or do you think Riddle is still, you know, going to be strong at all points?
I definitely think there will be a timer. I just think that timer is so far ahead in the future that it doesn't really matter. Like, you take a look at the Sieger's items right now, haven't even finished his Mythic. He's sitting on an Asher's Tooth and do not have the Pivotal Riftmaker for a Gwen either. So you can just see it. Once again, 3 lanes because Riddle know they can afford it. And there's just multiple cannons coming in. Baron just wore up though, and they're looking for a team fight.
They're throwing everything onto MC. They're going to bring Arrow in. He's going to eat the spear. He's going to have to flash away, otherwise he gets executed. Desadre does not have the sustain, does not have the damage to deal with anything as he goes down. Petroska needs to find a huge barrel here. Snooks gets slowed down by Astator, but that is going to be the end of the GP. Having now next to full, it's only Arrow, it's only Astator left. A double kill for MC on his Nidalee. He finally got his hands onto it, and it's been so big for him. They got a little bit of wave clear. They don't have Baron to work with anymore, but the teleports are coming in. They're keeping the wave alive as long as possible. A lot of damage is coming out, but it's going to be even more onto the face of Arrow as he loses his life. Fatikan has the murder guns, and Astator will pay the ultimate price. Ace on the base, and the Nexus will fall. Riddle take the win.
And just like that, Riddle, they'll pull ahead in the standings. 4-6 was the score between these 2 teams, but now Riddle will be pulling a little bit ahead in the race for playoffs, which has been quite close between a lot of our teams here in the league.
Yeah.
So this is a pivotal win, and what may be regarded as actually a little bit of an upset in regards of the form both teams came into this match with. I think NYYRIKKI was definitely on the upwards trajectory, with Riddle being on the downwards. But this time around, 4 members of Riddle showed up that I did not expect to show up. Usually it was Kex. This time around, it was completely switched.
I think you nailed it. The key thing to take away was we saw a uniform Riddle and not a Riddle that had like one person just carrying. That was a team playing very well together. We'll ignore Kex on his performance on the Renekton because I think they...
He did have a highlight 1v1.
He did have a highlight 1v1, and I also just think the rest of the team played fantastic, so you can't really take that away from them. Anyway, we are going to throw to a break, and then we'll be wrapping up the day, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a moment.
Welcome back, and it's the post show. I'm together with Trouble and NYYRIKKI to talk a little bit, do some
on your
interviews.
What's that on your cheek?
It's a little heart. Look at this.
We have them too.
Yes,
They're
we
beautiful.
all have hearts. Look at that. Just for you guys back at home. I'm just saying, you guys are wonderful. and-
Happy Valentine's Day.
Exactly. Also, this was such a wonderful game. Aside from the Nidalee pick, yeah.
I love fiestas. I'm all up for fiestas, honestly.
But this was like a good fiesta.
I mean, it was a very broken field to play, but you can kind of understand why. I mean, there is something really beautiful about watching a really good Nidalee player because they never stop moving. They go into a lane, they kill someone, they're farming camps,
Can I
they're
say something
counter-stealing.
controversial? There's something really beautiful into really good Graves players as well. Now, don't get me wrong. I've said plenty of times that a Graves is literally the AD version of Nidalee.
What's happened
But
with
somebody
Trouble?
who can control these sort of champions who are very slippery, but also play in your face, which is very rewarding yet very dangerous. High risk, high reward. When you play these types of champions, you're so good at them. I agree with you. It's just a pleasure to watch.
Now, we could talk with the players. We have on our side Petoska. Hello, our gangplank. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello, are you there? Hello.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. But you got me now. You got me now, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, there we go. This was a wonderful game. I gotta say, it was like really exciting to watch. You on Gangplank, you demolished. Like before we talk, it was a beautiful gameplay of Gangplank. But now into the champion select. The question that everybody's asking: why did you guys leave Nidalee open?
I mean, honestly, I kind of think that Nidalee is a dog champion, and I don't really care about it. But we talked about it a decent amount and decided that we would have more value from banning something else. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if Nidalee was really a problem, but it didn't really work out our way.
So we all know that obviously like MC's Nidalee is a thing, but we also know that your Tryndamere is another thing. With the previous interview that we had when you played the Tryndamere, your teammate said we were laughing when the Tryndamere was open. Like we just gave him the Tryndamere and we just enjoyed, getting into his backpack and allowing him to carry us away. Now, obviously, like a Renekton Nidalee is meant to tower dive you and it's meant to make your life really hard. You think that the Tryndamere right here would have been a really big no-no?
Well, I mean, it was more about enemy having Braum that ruins Tryndamere. I don't really care about Renekton Nidalee if I have my jungle covering me. But yeah, just Braum is annoying. That's all I kind of.
As an assassin player, I agree.
Yep, same. As both assassin players.
And I had a lot of questions regarding like the pick from the GP. You had the Gwen and like why switch her around. Was the Gwen the bad pick? But obviously, in my opinion at least, it was not the GP the problem. Can you actually pinpoint where was the point where the team lost control of the map?
I mean, I don't know when it was exactly in the game, right? I would have to rewatch it and like think about it more. But I think we haven't, or like we're not really used to playing like this. Usually we have more like early aggressive junglers, and Desidera gets to play the game more. So that could have maybe changed the game. Now he was stuck on Gwen that can't really do too much early.
But obviously, this is a game that, okay, Riddle won, but NYYRIKKI are showing up. So this is not affecting the mentality of the team of NYYRIKKI. Right, Petoska?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a sad loss, right? Because it was kind of an important game with them being 4 and 6 as well. But there's still other opportunities for us to make playoffs. So yeah, as long as we work out our problems out as we have like so far, I think it'll be fine, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are, to me, it's like the stairway to heaven for the NYYRIKKI. Since you guys started and now you're playing, to me, you guys are just playing Stairway to Heaven. So I gotta say, it was a really good game from you. I love watching that GP. The way you used 3 passives of Gangplank on the face of Renekton in less than like 10 seconds, that is candy to the eyes, man. I gotta tell you, that was candy. So good job on that game, and I'd like to see more of you, okay? See you next game.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I gotta say, because I had a lot of questions like, okay, why flex the Gwen? Why not use the Gwen versus Renekton? Was that a bad matchup? But I don't think it was close to the top side. I think the rest of the map.
I do feel like it was an execution thing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like it was a playable draft. At the end of the day, we talk a lot about winning and losing draft. It often boils down to not something quite as hardline as that. It's just about, okay, can you make do with it, or is this an advantage you've got? I think that they had advantages they could play around. We saw they had some really good early players. They managed to take control of top side against what we would assume to be this dominance of the Renekton in Italy. It just fell apart sometime in the mid game.
I feel like something we also discussed about it was like the Jinx was 0-0-0. And when Azitor is 0-0-0, you suddenly start sort of like holding back and you're like, oh no.
He still played really well in the mid-game
fights. Is the Jinx actually going to say, you know, her final word? And even though I think Azitor did try, I think the top side of the map was like snowballed too much out of control. And even though the Renekton got clapped out of existence, he's just still so strong in zoning, carries like Jinx away. You cannot walk too close to him because if you do get stunned, you're dead.
Okay, one quick shout out on that actually. There was a point in a mid-game fight where he actually tanks up an Aphelios turret to save the Ryze's in stasis, takes like half his HP bar, knowing he'll survive, and the Ryze lives as well. So I was like, look, he's trying. He's really trying.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
Top lane didn't work, but at least I'm working for the team.
What does that tell us? Because Spikey tried as well. AD carries.
Don't trust
win
AD
you games.
carries. Don't trust them.
No, trust them, but they just can't win you games.
Don't trust AD carries.
Talking about AD carries, we should look into the support of of Riddle.
Smooth.
Nukes is with us. Hello, Brom.
Hello, Brom is here.
Congratulations on this victory. It was a spicy one. You guys got to play Italy. How did it felt?
Oh, I mean, to talk to MC, but I think he wasn't too happy because he said that he missed a lot of spears. And yeah, I mean, I saw it in game as well.
Alex, you were actually counting them. You're like, he missed one there, and he missed one there, and he missed...
I was so hyped for the Italy. As soon as he missed the spear, I'm like, what is happening? He's missing. What do you mean? But obviously, he played really well. NYYRIKKI, he won. Yeah.
So one of the things that we've kind of been picking up from a lot of your games on the side of Riddle is that all of you have had massive pop-off performances, but rarely all at the same time. This game today, it felt like it was more on the same kind of page. Obviously, the Renekton got a bit far behind, but do you think there's a particular reason for why some players are struggling to match the potential of the others in differing amounts in different games?
I mean, I would say like Kex wasn't too happy about Renekton because we don't have a lot of practice with it, and don't think he likes it lately, and especially into their team like Jinx, Leona, Ryze. Like it's a bit hard to play, but I mean he kind of ran it down early, so.
Okay.
He took one for the team, man.
He actually did. Now, looking into this Italy pick and the way the team played, you guys felt way more comfortable. MC was annoying on the jungle. He was constantly ganking. It was constantly stealing everything from the enemy as well. And you guys were so comfortable on the map, allowing you to get more vision, like get deep vision as well. Is this the Riddle that we are supposed to see, specifically also in scrims? Because I know you guys are getting a lot of scrims with Italy. So is this the feared Riddle?
Honestly, I'm not sure because I have to see this in like next games. But I mean, today it was they gave us prio. I got full vision. They don't clear any vision. Like we have full vision 24/7. We know exactly where Gwen is, and then like. We are playing top side, they're playing bot side, they're playing super scared, they're not doing anything. So I'm not sure. We'll have to see it from next games.
Okay, I'd like to see that.
They knew where the Gwen was, but Gwen did not know where her jungle was.
Yeah, no jungle.
On, spread to the winds.
By the way, do you want to play a game?
I want to play a game.
You want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game though, Brom?
Sure, yeah.
Big Ben Dodge. Finally get to play it again. There we go. We have a few plays and you'll decide. You will be the first one to tell us, do you pick it if you enjoy it? Do you dodge it if it's like, yeah? Or do you ban it if you never want to see it on your life again? Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with the first one. Oh, I missed this game.
In a while.
Give it to us, guys. Give it to us. Vanir versus
this was a bit crazy.
Oh, that's Noodle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe there is a Vex play in here, which you were not very happy with on the cast trouble.
Oh, the Everfrost.
I mean, I look at this and I just this kind of sums up this entire game from M&M, where they couldn't quite land all their combos. They were so close to winning harder, and then they dove into a load of plays which they just couldn't finish.
So this is from Noodle's side as the jungler. Okay,
He can choose which side he can
I
take
got
it
from
from.
production. They told me like this is Noodle's side. This is
Oh,
Noodle's
this is
side.
Noodle's side. Okay.
Yeah. Now we're taking sides. Okay. What do you think?
What's the verdict?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like I was watching and I'm not sure if it's my internet, but the quality was really bad. Like only thing I saw was Zeri doing pew pew and Vex ultimate, but I would go with the dodge.
From Noodle.
I mean, if it's Noodle, I'd be like, I mean, it's just kind of Viega doing stuff, so like it's a very
Yeah,
easy pick from
it's a
that.
pick.
However, I mean, I'm seeing the Everfrost in the wrong direction, buddy. I'm seeing the Everfrost in the wrong direction. That's the one thing which I like. I care not production. I'm calling that out.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're dodging.
Sorry. As a Vex enjoyer myself,
No, the
This
thing is,
was
they didn't have to
unacceptable.
dodge. They didn't have to dodge. It was fired the other way.
Yeah, so it's not a dodge, it's a ban. Okay, we got the first one now. Let's go for the second one, Nooks. Let's see what we got in store. I believe they have one of you. How would we do that?
Again, we have another Eminem Veneer one.
Oh,
this
this
was
is-
so close to being the best play in League of Legends history, and it ended up not being the best play in League of Legends history. Yeah. Because he waited in that brush up there for about a minute.
5 minutes. No.
It was a long time.
It was 3 to 4 minutes for sure.
It was a very long time.
You got
I appreciate
into
the attempt, but that's perhaps a flag and drag too far.
Noodle, by the way, didn't smite. I noticed that.
Okay.
Noodle was
Oh.
not even able to smite. It was Syndra taking the
Were
banner,
you
by
able
the
to
way.
watch that clip? Was it visible for you?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Nooks.
Did you enjoy watching that clip?
No.
Pick a side. Okay, you're looking at this play through which position? Are you looking from the Jarvan side or the other side? Nooks.
Actually, that's a good question. 'Cause, I mean, at the start it looked pretty good, right? And then it looked pretty bad. So, I mean, I would just say, like the Charman side just tinted. So, I'll go with the ban on this one.
Ooh.
to say.
The hammer.
So I remember that game being super far behind. That could have been, if it ended up as a steal, ridiculously cool. And I kind of appreciate that. Enemy jungler didn't smite. He died doing it. Syndra took the Baron. I don't actually want to see that again in any of my games. That was far too stressful.
Hear me out.
Okay.
The soul was gone. Baron was up. The only chance that Eminem had to come back and stall the game was if Kana managed to steal the Baron.
Yes.
I give him a big
Yes.
pick.
Actually, you know
for
what? I
having-
appreciate that.
For having for having the Syndra spheres to wait in that bush for 2 minutes to try and steal the Baron. I give him
It's
a big
the holy
pick.
grail of plays. Like, you gotta try, and it didn't happen. Didn't happen. But there you go. So we have at least one more. Yeah. Let's check it out. 2 more. Oh.
Oh, wow, they're spoiling us.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh, literally.
Okay.
Hey, that's not MC.
This is not MC. Wait, what
That's
happened?
not MC.
Oh, is this going to be a fail?
Oh, I
blue?
I actually
Oh,
asked
no,
you
no.
about
Oh, yeah.
this one.
So what happened here was his team was like, we're going Baron, and Paup was
I don't
like,
care. I
it's
don't-
like, it's like, honey, it's Baron o'clock. Yes, dear. I mean, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna dodge those teammates for telling him to get towards Baron. Let me take my camps. Let me get my gold.
Because nothing was happening. Nukes.
It's a ban from me.
It is a ban. Yeah, you gotta
Wait,
ban that.
Wait, towards who? Pop or his teammates?
Yes.
To his teammates, because I saw that they, like, enemy was near. I feel like they didn't have enough pressure to just start it there.
Cool. We're banning Singularity. I agree.
Are we banning Singularity?
I'm banning Singularity as well.
It did feel really bad because you said, I was like, the poor jungler's not managed to do anything this time. I was like, can I have one crumb of blue buff? No.
Come to the Baron.
We're
Fight for the
infinite
Baron.
Baron, yeah.
And they didn't even started. They just
Nope, no, they
dodged
didn't.
away from the Baron. So yeah, ban it away. Last one, Nukes. Let's see. It may be from the last game.
Oh, this was crazy.
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
that's one
oh.
passive. That's two passive.
Oh, look at
Close
this.
up the last one, gets
Oh,
the third.
my.
Three passives.
So, yeah, Nukes.
My
you
question
first. You
here
first.
is, Nukes, did you actually get to witness that live? Were you watching that top side fight?
No, I probably was busy sharing a cannon miner or something. I can't watch it.
Well, enjoy.
So, what is your answer, Nukes?
That's another ban from me.
Towards Kekt, I'm assuming?
Yes.
The thing is, though, like, I feel really bad for Kex because who expects the unholy amount of
Oh, I'm
damage?
banning Gangplank.
It was like,
I'm
I
banning
know-
the champion.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, let's ban Gangplank. Ban Gangplank, please.
So I gotta say pick because Gangplank was a beast. It was so
100%.
wonderful to watch. I'm picking this as a helpful guide for Renekton to either dodge the battles or
dodge
last
jump
hit
select.
them.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, you have HP on battles, use it, like, please.
That was what Kex wanted to do in this jump select.
Yeah.
Dodge it all together.
Can I dodge this game? Nooks, it was a wonderful game and a wonderful interview with you, man. Thank you so much for playing with us, Pickman Dodge. It's also really good to hear from you as well. And I'd like to see more of this Riddle gameplay with the Italy or even without the Italy. Thank you so much, man.
Nice to meet you, Nukes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See ya.